What's up, everyone? Sirasoni here, back again. Welcome to the tutorial on ValhallaRoom. Alright, and the reason I'm doing this tutorial is I was surfing YouTube for it, and doesn't seem like there's a good tutorial on it. And plus, on the Valhalla DSP website, they don't really explain things in common man's terms, so to say. So I decided to give this a go. As a disclaimer, I don't know everything about ValhallaRoom, but most of the parts will be covered. The only parts that I'm not super familiar with, I'll point out as I go. So let's start. So I got this pattern here, the backdrop. And this has zero reverb on it right now, so to speak. So let's go over the common functions first. This mix right here, the dry and the wet, 0% is at dry, 100% is at wet. I know for normal reverbs, there's a dry and a wet knob separate, but in ValhallaRoom, it's just this one slider, and that's all you get. Okay, so if I drag this up, you could definitely hear the wet reverb sound, right? Pre-delay here is, like what it says, pre-delay is the delay, the silence before the reverb hits. And so if I have the pre-delay set to, you guys hear that? If I have to set it to 500 milliseconds, that's 0.5 seconds later, which will be very unnatural. I think I explained this in the in-depth tutorial on Fruity Reverb 2, but I'll be going over this again. Pre-delay, generally when you hear a natural sound in, let's say like a room, for example, anywhere between 10 to 40 milliseconds is ideal for a natural sound. If you guys go over that, then it's only for special effects like slapback, and for that refer to my tutorial on Fruity Reverb 2. Okay, so I'm gonna just have this set to whatever, like somewhere in that range. Decay, I told you guys before, decay represents the type of environment or the type of room that you're in. I told you guys before that if you already go over the 4-second mark, that's like you're already going into like not a normal room, but like a stairwell or a cathedral or something like that. And then, you know, if you go over the 7-second mark, that's like already simulating the sounds of a cave. So yeah, so use your ears and use accordingly. For normal sounds, you probably won't have to go over 4 seconds. Alright, so do that. And then high cut here, I told you guys before this as well, high cut is used with everything else. Normally in other reverbs it's used with damping, and is to basically cut down the high sound. And this is used so that it simulates a warmer room, because if there's less high frequency, then it doesn't sound as bright, and so it will be a room that's you know, has curtains on it or has wooden walls, something that absorbs the sound better, thus giving it a warmer sound. Versus, you know, if you have this all the way up, it means you're in a room that's metallic surfaces or concrete surfaces with really bright ringing sounds. Okay, Normally, I set it to somewhere between 8,000 to 10,000 for the natural sounds. Depth here, again, depth here is represented in ValhallaRoom, and if you have it at 0%, it goes to the early tab right here. If you have 100%, it's the late tab, okay? And I'll explain this more as we go on. Before we skip over to the next two parts, I'm gonna show you guys some unique things here. First of all, if you guys click on this mix knob, right, then the mix is locked. So no matter what preset you select, the mix level is always gonna be the same. You guys see how it is? Yeah. So it's always gonna be like that. Where are you? All right. So, and then another thing is, watch out for this decay. You know, if you move over decay, it says right here, like sets the reverb decay time for mid frequencies, and that's really important. I'll cover that in the late section later. So it only covers the decay time for the mid frequencies, and the mid frequencies, at first I wonder what are the mid frequencies, but you could set that later as well. I'll explain. So let's go to the early section. Early here, it stands for like early energy or early reflection. I told you guys in the Fruity Reverb 2 tutorial that I did, the early reflections are the first dozen or so reflections that come off from the surface. Okay, so it's the first first reverb that you hear. Okay, that's why it's called early reflections. Okay, and if you have more early reflections, you know, by using any kind of plugin, whatever, you get a brighter sound. Obviously, if you have more early reflections, that means your room is smaller, therefore, you know, there's more of it. You know, that's why it makes the sound brighter. That's why it simulates like a metallic sound. Okay, so let me explain. Size here, it's referring to the room size. Okay, like the size, and you could control the early and the late size. You know, obviously at 1,000 milliseconds, it means it takes that much more time for the reverb to come. So it means a wider space versus the one. Yep. Okay. It might also sort of mean that you have certain obstacles between you, like the sound source, and the wall, which creates like a thicker reverb by the time it comes back to you, because it's bouncing off of the obstacles in the midway. If you have this shorter versus 1,000 milliseconds or longer times, is, you know, longer, and there's nothing in between the sound source and the wall. Early cross, this cross in ValhallaRoom represents the mixture of the left and the right signals. So just know that if you have it set at 0, there's no mixture at all between left and right channels, and 1 gives all the mixture, thus meaning a thicker, bigger stereo image. Yep. Okay. Modulation rate and depth, they're more for effects like chorusing, so generally it's better not to touch them if you want the natural sound. If you guys see, it's from 0.05 to 5 hertz, and this is an LFO, so you know it's gonna be running and it's gonna give you that chorus type effect. Yep. Okay, so yep. Early send here is for is how much of the signal from the early is gonna go into the late. If you have it at 0, That means whatever you set right here with the depth is going to determine how much of the reverb is going to be early and how much of the reverb is going to be late. But if you have this to 1, that means all of the reflections from the early reflections is going to be sent into the late. So think of it sort of like a serial reverb versus if you have it at 0 is parallel. Okay, like parallel with early and late versus serial with early and late. Cool. Diffusion is how many walls you have in your room, and this isn't any reverb plugin. Okay, so if you have more walls in the room, that means there's more echoes. And generally, if you have it less, it means you have like a triangular room or a square room, and it gives a more sharp, like brighter sound. Yeah. Yep. Let's go into late now. Late size, same as early size. I explained. Late cross. This same as early cross, mixture of left and right channels. Modulation rate and modulation depth is same. More for coursing. Generally turn it off. And then now we have bass multiplier, bass crossover, high multiplier, and high crossover. And this actually works with this decay right over here, okay? And this is how it works, okay? So if you go over right here to crossover section, it says on the bottom, controls the transition frequency between RT bass and RT mid. And high crossover, it says controls transition frequency between RT mid and the high frequencies. Right here, RT mid is this is the mid frequencies, whatever. Okay, this sets the general time, decay time for, you know, whatsoever. And let's say, for example, if I have this set at 2000, or yeah, somewhere like that, right? Yeah, 2000, 1990, whatever, 1990. Then anything below this is going to be the bass, and anything above this is going to be the mid. And here we have the high, which goes up to 15,000. And if I have it set it to 9,580, it means anything below this is gonna be the mid. So anywhere between this 1990 and 9,580 is the mid frequencies. Anything above 9,580 is the high frequencies. Anything below this is the bass frequency. Okay, and right here these correspond like that. So anything below this, like 1990, is going to be multiplied if you put this up, or it could be reduced, okay, times 0.5 times 2. So let's say, for example, I have this at 10 seconds, okay? Then if I have 0.5, it means the mid frequencies are going to ring out for 10 seconds, while the bass frequencies here are only going to ring out for 5 seconds, because it's half of this. Or if I have it set to 2, it means bass frequencies are gonna be ringing out for 20 seconds. Sorry guys, you guys get what I mean? So, and generally, again, this goes back to all the high cut and all that stuff that I explained before. You know, if you have more bass, that means your room is warmer, obviously. You know, you have warmer sounding reverb. You know, if you want to simulate warm spaces, you have more bass. And high, obviously, if you have more highs, then you have more you have more, you know, metallic surfaces, more concrete surfaces, sharper ringing kind of sort of gate reverb, that kind of stuff. Yeah, okay, plate reverbs, whatever you want to say. Okay, so same with this too. Okay, so if I have it set at 0.1, then whatever mid frequencies are ringing for 10 seconds, and high frequencies are going to be only ringing for 1 second. Okay, and that's how it works. And the final part is the reverb modes. And just as a disclaimer, I don't know everything about these modes. It's more of you guys just have to play around with it and figure it out yourself. Okay, these rooms are generally the most natural sounding ones. Okay, and most of the time you're gonna just end up using the large room. Okay, medium room, I read, it's a bigger size room than large room, so there's going to be more diffusion, more sounds going, and it's going to be longer decay, that sort of deal. Okay, bright room obviously has higher frequencies, thus giving it the bright room. Large chamber is bigger than the rooms, and basically is the way the echo builds up is the same, is similar to the rooms. That's why it has the name large. All these dark ones, it just means that there's no high frequencies or less high frequencies, thus giving it that dark, warm feel to it. Mess around with it. Rooms, chamber, they all go the same. Nostromo, Narcisulaco, this, and LV426, these are all dark room types as well. I guess whoever made ValhallaRoom really liked their sci-fi, so yeah, these are all from sci-fi. I know LV426 is from the Alien series, the name. So you guys have to try it out. Use your ears, and then also try all the presets. See some of the settings, you guys might like it. Yeah, do whatever you want. So that's it for today. Hope you guys learned something. Till next time, peace out. Ask me any questions. Follow my Facebook. All right, I don't have followers on Facebook. I need some followers. God damn. All right, so peace out.